Oh my goodness. I think I've been making a mistake with the DeFi staking platform. In fact, the DSP token, I think most people are making a mistake with this platform. I could be wrong. So if I am, you can definitely help me out. You can correct me in this video, but I'm going to talk to you about this, what I think is going to be my new long-term strategy. This is mind-blowing. This is a game changer. DSP is sucking the oxygen out of the room. Do you hear me? All right, this is Crypto Wealth. Let's get into this. I'm going to talk to you about what I was looking at this yesterday. I was looking over and I had some questions about what I was looking at and I didn't quite understand it. Real big shout out. I'm going to give a shout out to a few different YouTubers today for no other reason than just to spread the word about their channels. People are weird in the the YouTube space in general. Sometimes they don't like to shout out channels and talk about channels they enjoy. It's like they're scared, they're going to share audiences. I don't know what that's all about. Listen, you can't be fearful of that kind of stuff, man. So I'm going to give a couple shout outs. First of all, real big shout out to Mindatron, because yesterday when I realized this, I was messaging with him back and forth and I'm like, man, what? He's been in Hex longer. Well, he's been in Hex since day one, basically. I think he's been in T2X, he's still in T2X, and he's in DSP. And I'm like, what? Help me explain this. What am I missing here? And when he started explaining this, by the way, here's his channel. I'll link him down below. 519 subscribers. He's growing. He's been, kind of using videos from his phone or whatnot, but he's growing. He's just broke 500 subscribers. Go give him some love. He's uploading almost every day. But so here's the thing. I said, man, what am I missing here? When he explained this, a light bulb went off. And I was like, listen, am I wrong here? Like, what am I missing? And he was like, no, I think that's right. That's why I do, longer stakes. And I'm like, okay, but what's the fear of going out much longer? And I'll explain this in a minute, because people are missing the boat on this. Like, they just aren't getting it. And I think by the time he and I were done talking late last night, it was like, we were both like, we had this like whole new revelation. Again, we could be wrong, so you can help me out here. But here's the thing. I'm gonna show you what's going on, but there's a lot of things that you need to be careful for in crypto. And by the way, this isn't financial advice. This is just me talking from my personal experiences. You cannot marry a platform. I don't care if it's a DSP token or what. And I get that from, Stunner Breezy is always talking about that. Go check out his channel. This guy, listen, I'm going to shout out these YouTubers because they're entertaining. But I will tell you, Stunner Breezy is one of them. They go into stuff that I ain't touching. I'm not touching anything that looks like it's a HYIP, high yield investment program. I'm not touching anything that looks like it's a direct Ponzi for the most part. Like, I ain't saying I've never dropped 100 Tron or 1,000 Tron or whatever, but as a general rule, like that's not my thing. And even if I did do it, I wouldn't even talk about it on the channel, because normally it's just, I see it as straight gambling. This guy's entertaining. He's in everything. And he's always like, you can't marry a platform. You cannot marry a platform. And he's right. I don't care if it's DSP. And I'm going to talk to you about DSP in a minute. I don't care if it's DSP or what it is. The biggest mistake I have made in crypto, my biggest loss, maybe I'll do a video about that soon. My biggest loss ever in crypto was marrying a platform. People are worried about clones. But sometimes clones are direct ripoff. There's nothing innovative. There's no plans for anything innovative. Other times, it's innovative. Someone clones something. I mean, this is an open source environment. They'll clone something with the intention of making some sort of improvements to it. And people get stuck. They're like, oh, I can't mess with the clone. Stunner Breezy's made a fortune on T2X. But he didn't even hesitate jumping in the DSP. And it's done well. I'll give a shout out. I just discovered this channel over the weekend. Crypto Jam. Now, he's a little bit different. Crypto Jam is killing it on T2X. Dude had like $1,000 day. $1,000 day. On this last video, he did a withdrawal. He's like, oh, that's down. He was shocked. He was like, oh, that's down. It's only $400. Now, mind you, a month ago, he was knocking down $1,000 days. Literally. It's crazy. Well, I'm going to show you part of the reason. He thinks it's just because the lobby went down, but that's not the whole reason. I'm going to show you the major reason why divs seem to go down, even though volume could be going up. Your divs can still be going down, meaning your actual earnings could be going down, even though volume in the lobbies are going up. I'm going to explain that here in a minute. But if you come look at this video, like, people are like, hey, man, you need to go in the comments, or like, man, you need to go check out DSP. And he's like, yeah, not a chance. And it's a shame, because it's like, brother, if you would have took that $1,000 days, and you'd have been dropping that into, I mean, he's using like 6 million or 14 crazy numbers of T2X to get what we're getting with like 10, 15,000 DSP. And it's because I'll go cover the mechanics in a minute, but it's really because it's just a newer contract. That's it. That's the thing. And he doesn't fully realize that. And he's being loyal to T2X, but you got to love loyalty, man. Like we're in a world where people don't have loyalty. Let me hit the subscribe button. We're over here where people don't hit loyalty. You hit all. By the way, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell notification. Click all. You want to be watching all my videos. I got some good stuff coming up. But listen, here's the thing. You can't, in crypto, and by the way, this is true for Bitcoin. You know, I used to be like just such a Bitcoin maximalist, and I still am. Like, I still think the single best use case in the world for cryptocurrency is a decentralized currency. I think the best shot at this point in time, for a lot of reasons, is still Bitcoin. But I diversify across the board. You can't just be married to one coin. You can't be married to one project, period, end of story. No, and I'm not saying he's just totally married to T2X, but he's probably done so well with it. I mean, he just can't. Maybe it's not so much just a loyalty thing, but it's just he's done so well with it, you know. And I get that. But if he would have been able to juke and jive and been looking at DSP, same thing, proven concept. Let me show you something. If you come over here to this is the T2X lobby. T2X has never had more than a 4 million Tron day. Never 4 million Tron in the lobby. DSP has never had less than 4 million so far. I mean, that is nuts. That is absolutely nuts. So here's where I was missing the boat, and here's the mistake I think I was making. And let me just show you how I kind of had this question. By the way, Stunner Breezy, Mondatron, Crypto Jam, I'll put their links in the description. You can go check out their channels. So here's the thing. I was over here and I'm looking, and I'm like, okay. I'm trying to figure out what all these headings were. Current value, 396. Okay, I think that's my number of shares. I mean, my number of DSP. Staked amount, 386. I'm like, okay, what's going on there? 386. Interest, 10, 396. Oh, okay. So this is what I staked. This is my interest earned, because you earn interest for every like 5 days or so. You earn interest. Or every day, then you make a bonus day every 5 days where it's double interest. I think that's what it is. And then your current value. Your current value is your stake shares plus your interest minus your 396. If you end a stake early, you get penalized on your DSP interest. Meaning it's like 50% of the interest that you would have earned. And it actually can cost you more than your current amount. So let's just say I had a long stake of like a year and I ended this thing. Well, let's just say I was going to get, I don't know, just make it round numbers, 100 DSP in interest. That means I would lose roughly 100 here. So I'd be down to 296 if I was to end the stake early. That's the penalty. You don't lose any of the TRX that you've gained. Catch that. If you end a stake early, that's important you understand. If you end a stake early, you don't lose any of your TRX. That sounds like it doesn't make sense. Like, wait a minute, huh? I only lose DSP? I don't care about the DSP tokens. At first I did, but I didn't get it. This was a bigger deal in the original OG contract, Hex. And Hex, remember, I did a full tutorial on DSP, on the mechanics of the lobby and staking and all that stuff. And I'll put that link above. You can watch that full tutorial. I did a full tutorial, and I explained how with Hex, you basically use Ethereum to buy Hex, but the dividends that you get back are just when you stake, you only get Hex back. They don't pay back Ethereum. Richard Hart or the developers or whoever gets the Ethereum, it never comes back. With T2X and DSP, you basically buy. You come into auction, and when you come into auction, you put in Tron, not Ethereum. You put in Tron, and what you get back is you get DSP tokens. When you stake those DSP tokens, you do earn DSP, but the big thing about these contracts is not the DSP earnings. Like, who cares that you make, 10 DSP tokens? Who cares? The idea is once the stake ends, you have those tokens, you can restake those tokens. You earn, this is way into ROI. Like, I'll probably before this is over with, I mean, I'll probably like end up 10, 20x my original investment. Like it'll be nuts because this is like day one stuff. In T2X and DSP, the token's not that important. The token is going to go down in value. People are like, I can sell my tokens. I can sell your tokens are going down in value because they're getting inflated. So that's important to understand. Okay, let me back up a little bit. People were like, the big thing is that we earn these TRX. People were like, oh, again, I'm going to show you something on this chart. It's right in front of you. You don't see it yet probably, but I'm going to show you what's the game changer. What happens if stake ends? Because I asked this directly and I got the same response. You will get a penalty equal to the profit of half the days you committed to. But that penalty is referring to your DSP tokens, not your TRX. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong. I asked that in Telegram. I got the same response. I asked about, so do I lose TRX or is it just a DSP? They just gave me the same response. It's almost like it was an automated response. And I'm like, okay. So that means that I'm just losing DSP tokens because that's what you do in Hex. So this is a game changer because all of a sudden I'm like, why aren't we staking out for way longer? Stake out for a year, 2 years, 10 years. And I know you're like, well, what are you talking about? A year's a long time. 10 years forever. Here's the thing. You can end stake at any time. You get your divs. So here's the question. People are like, but you can't compound. You can't compound. You can't end your stake and compound because if you got to wait till the stake ends to compound. No, you can end it early and compound if you wanted to. But you don't want to compound. I want you to hear me. By the way, this is really bad for referrals. And so, but you're my subscriber. I want you to understand this. But it's actually not better to compound. It's better to stake and hold indefinitely or until, some point in the future, some long term. And understanding this, I'm going to explain why in a minute, but understanding this is why I'm looking to adjust my strategy. Again, if I'm wrong here, once I finish this video, if I'm wrong, you let me know where I'm wrong. You let me know where I'm wrong. Here's the key right here, shares. Look at something, and I'll explain the best I can what shares are in a minute. So down here, 396, I got 395 shares. Okay. All this day, it was almost, kind of equal. 205, 203, 205, 201, whatever. This is all the same day. But watch. The ratio starts going down. 211, 212, 357. I only got 324 shares. What? Or even here, this is the easiest way to look at it. 386, 395, 200, 203, 200, 201, 207, 212, 354, 324, 200, 183. Notice how shares are going down even though, the ratio is going down. It's going down even though this number is going up. 245, 224. Look, 127, 95. 430, 330. What's that all about? So every single day that you come in, the amount of shares, I will never be able to get 395 shares for 386 DSP tokens. Every single day, the share amount goes down. And the share is some sort of complex calculation. I mean, you can kind of get a hint on what it is over here. They show a share price. You can stake T shares. I mean, it's some sort of complex calculation, but basically what it represents is the percentage or the shares of the actual dividends being earned. And the dividends may not be, I don't know if the dividends per share are always consistent, and it's just that each day your DSP are buying less shares. So there's a lot of things to consider here. Okay, you got to understand that. This is so interesting. There's a lot of things to consider here. When the price of DSP goes up and down based on how many people or how many Tron come in that day. Understand that. Once you understand how the lobby works, I go in 1,000, I watch it, and then I'm willing to go in with another 1,000 or 2,000 depending on what happens here. That's what I've been doing, and I may consider doing that in the future, or continue doing that. Right now, if it was to end at this moment, I would get 0.45 DSP per Tron. Unfortunately, this is not going to end now. We still got a lot of hours, another 10 hours. We're probably going to hit 15 million. Maybe we'll hit 20 million. Heck, we might end up hitting 30 million. Who knows? No, you have no way of knowing. But you don't want to go all in at once, but you want to kind of dollar cost average, but you kind of want to get it in there because the only risk that you have is that tomorrow nobody goes in the lobby or very few people go in the lobby. But the strategy that I'm talking about helps mitigate some of that risk. Helps you kind of balance some of that risk, because if you're staked long enough, it doesn't matter. As long as people keep going in, you're going to keep earning. Here's the thing. Right now in DSP, the first day we ROI'd, and people are like, how is that possible? Well, all you got to do is look at this. 4 million Tron got paid out to all the stakers from the previous day. 4 million, 95% of this. So you basically ROI just short. It was almost the same amount. So you were 95% short. All of a sudden 5.8 million comes across here. Now you're at like, 150+%. Third day, 10 million comes in. That 10 million goes across all these people. So people are like, we got 17 million. We got more than yesterday. How come my returns are going down? Because that 17 million has to get spread among all of these stakers. So what will happen is this, we'll see a peak. T2X saw this too. If you go look at T2X, let me see if I can find it. I think it's on their dividends. I think this is a dividend history. If it loads in a minute, there's a peak and then it kind of goes down and it peaks again. And that's where basically everyone early on is taking profit because they've made so much ROI so fast. But then people come in and they keep staking because they're like, well, yeah, okay, so I didn't ROI in 3 days. I'm going to ROI in a week. Right now, I think you'll ROI in about, if we stay consistent, that's a big if. This might be the peak, who knows? If we stay consistent, you'll probably ROI within like 5 to 6 days. But if we hit 20 and 30,000, you're going to ROI in probably 3 or 4 days. If we drop down, it'll take a little longer. But the point being is you're going to ROI quick. Right now in T2X, their ROI, they're taking about, I think it's about 45 to 60 days, somewhere in there, to ROI, which is still amazing. And here's what people don't realize. Here's the thing. So if you come in this thing hard, say this first 30 days, assuming that the devs don't exit scam, the smart contract's not hacked. If I'm able to do this over the next 30 days, this is my thinking. And, this is, my initial investment is like, doubling, quadrupling, 10xing, whatever. In T2X, once I did a big 10x on my total investment, I just exited. When I say exit, I just closed it out, didn't worry about it. But that was a mistake, because what if you go in with 10,000 Tron or 100,000 Tron? We'll use round numbers. So you go in with 100,000 Tron, which I'm not going in with that much. I'm just using numbers. And say, well, that gets crazy numbers. Let's go back to 10,000 Tron. You go in with 10,000 Tron. You end up with a 10x. If that were to happen, or if I did that, I can't say you, don't follow my advice. If I did that and my 10x became 100x, well, that's awesome. I took a profit. But what if that 100x, what if it took another 90 days to 2x? Now all of a sudden your 10,000 Tron becomes 200,000 Tron. Are you following me? All your gains, when you're in early, all your gains are still going to keep growing and doubling. It's that compound interest rate. Your compounded gains are going to get compounded again and maybe again. So here's my thought pattern. Here's what I'm thinking. I'm still going to go in every day, but I'm thinking about going in for 365 days. And I've thought about this. I thought about doing, maybe I'll go in every day and I'll put it out a week. And the reason is because of this mentality, like, okay, I'll have stakes ending and I'll be taking those DSP and I'll be restaking them. It doesn't matter that you compound your DSP, because you're not going to be able to outrun the shares that you're earning unless, the lobby gets really erratic or whatever. But as long as you can keep putting in consistently every day for longer amounts, what matters most is holding down the amount of shares. Sorry, we're in the wrong spot. Holding down the amount of shares that you're getting, the ratio of shares, that looks to be the most important number, assuming that DeFi staking platform keeps going, et cetera, et cetera. But even if it doesn't matter. Let's just say it in 3 months, 6 months, it just dives down. All of a sudden, there's only 100,000 Tron coming in. I don't know if that's going to happen, but let's just say that happens. It doesn't matter. You can end stake early anytime you want, because only thing you're going to lose is your DSP tokens. Well, who cares about the DSP tokens? They're going down in value every day. I was listening to one YouTuber talking about, man, if my T2X go back up in value, if my T2X go back up in value. If they go back up in value, it's only temporary. They're issuing millions a day. Oh, this is a dividend. So right here, these are where people like me, early on, first few days, just like cashed out, and it looked like it was kind of dying. But then it stayed down here. And see what happens is there's this weird accumulation thing that happens. All of a sudden, to these people, to be able to ROI in 60, 90 days and earning daily dividends, that sounds good. They missed all this. They weren't aware that this happened. And they're like, whoa, the earnings are still good. I've even have comments on my channels. The earnings are still good. You're still earning your money back within, or you're doubling your money in 30 days or 50 days or 60 days. So it still sounds good. So it grows. And then we go back up here. And who knows, they may hit new highs. I mean, it may, look, T2X probably isn't going anywhere, I don't think. DSP is kind of sucking the oxygen out of the room, but I don't think T2X is necessarily going anywhere. I don't know. I think DSP, my thought pattern is, what if you staked here for all of this? I mean, look, even right here, if T2X keeps going, if you had staked way back here and you'd never end staked, you just staked, for 365 days. By the time you get here, I mean, you probably, who knows, 20, 30x, 100x. What if it takes the rest of the year for your 100x gains just to double? Is it worth it? Yeah, it would be worth it. Of course it would be worth it. But again, the concern, like when me and my Tron was talking about, he goes, yeah, but it's locked up. And I'm like, but we don't lose anything, right? The only thing we lose is DSP tokens. Who cares? DSP tokens are going to keep going down. What I want is to capture as much Tron dividends for my DSP tokens. So I think it's stake longer. I think that's the plan. So here's what I'm looking at doing. You can tell me if I'm wrong. You can tell me where my thinking is wrong down in the comments. Here's what I'm looking at doing. I'm going to come up in here. Oh, by the way, I got one more YouTuber I want to shout out real quick. I'm going to come up in here and I'm going to come in with 1,000. I'm going to come up with 1,000 a day. And I may do more if I see that we end up at 10, I may come in with 2,000. Why? Because I want more of those DSP tokens for less price. That's the thing. You really want as many DSP tokens as you can get early on at the best price possible. But it's very difficult to undercut the lobby. Now, there's external exchanges, but you got to be careful on those external exchanges because there's some false contracts out there. You just got to be careful. And I may cover that in another video, but you just got to be careful. So I'm not looking to do anything on the external exchanges at all right now, but I'm looking to come in 1,000 Tron per day, 1,000 Tron per day. That's what I'm looking to do. By the way, I don't recommend that you do this necessarily. This is uber risky, and I'll tell you why. We don't know if look, if these devs decide to exit out of here, they're going to leave with a boatload. Most people's stakes haven't ended yet. We're in the first 8 days of this thing, 9 days. Most people's stakes have not ended yet. They could exit out of here and just leave with an enormous amount of TRX. That is possible. It is possible. This is the risk I'm taking. So I'm going to be coming in with 1,000 Tron a day, and I'm going to start staking, I think, for 365 days. I mean, heck, I thought about staking for like 2 years. And maybe I should. I mean, again, what are you losing? I'm thinking at this point, these first stakes right now, I mean, these could be like 20Xs. I mean, here's the plan. 1,000 Tron, if it does like a 20X gain at this point, if I would have done it on day one, I mean, these would like 100X probably. But if this was a 20X gain, and again, here's what you got to understand. People are trying to compound their TRX. That's what people are thinking about. They're thinking, sorry, I'm on the wrong. People are thinking about, I'm going to pull this out and compound it. But when you compound it, you're not going to be able to, your Tron and your DSP are not going to get you as many shares. Getting shares at the most valuable price is more important than getting DSP at the most valuable price. And the only way to get shares valuable is to get in earlier. Are you understand that? So that's my dilemma. So I think I'm going to just come in with 1,000 Tron. And if it goes down, I'll come in with like 2,000 or 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, depending on what the lobby's looking like. I may do that periodically. But, so here's the thought pattern. 1,000 Tron, let's look at this. What is that going to be a year from now? I think right now it'd be a 20X, but let's take a look. All right, so here we go. Right now, Tron's at 2.6 cents. So let's just say, so 1,000 right now is about $26. And let's just say that we do a 20x. That would be $500 a day that you're just going to be withdrawing every single day. Boom, 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 boom. On a $26 investment. That's if it does a 20x. Now, obviously, we have no way of knowing that. By the way, I'm not worried about the website exit scamming. You can interact directly with the contract. Mindotron's going to be showing how to do that at some point on his channel. I may do a video as well. But you can interact directly with the contract. 20, put in 1,000, get a 20x. I mean, makes you think about, man, what if I put in 10,000 and got 200,000 back? It's hard to say what we're going to get back. It really depends on how many people come in, but you eliminate a lot of risk. By the way, what if Tron goes to 5 cents? All of a sudden, this is $1,000 days. If Tron hits 10 cents in another year, if that were to happen, you're talking about $2,000 days. If Tron goes down to 1 penny, who cares? Your $26 investment is still going to be making you, probably a couple $100 a day. Like, there's so many things that it kind of eliminates the risk. The only risk is the platform continues. That's the only risk. But you're going to get you're going to actually maximize your DSP rewards because you're going to get all that bonus interest. People who in-stake early and they pay penalties, that's going to go to all of your shares. You're going to have some of the most cost-effective shares a year from now because so many other people ended. No one else is being able to get shares that cheap. You're going to have some of the most cost-effective shares. And honestly, you may wish you'd have went out for 2 years. And who knows, maybe I'll do that. But I don't understand why not stake out for a longer time period. I think that I think it eliminates a lot of the potential risk, or at least it maximizes your returns. That's probably a better way to say it. It maximizes your returns. Hey, someone let me know. If I'm wrong, you let me know down in the comments. I want to give another quick shout out. Entertaining YouTuber gave me an idea for a video. Muddy Mo World of Crypto. Muddy Mo World of Crypto and Stunner Breezy have got very different but yet similar personalities. Listen, he's only got 277 subscribers. I've been subscribed to this guy. Come hit subscribe, hit the bell notification. Click all. I'll try to remember to put his link in the description. He did a great video. It's an entertaining video. I didn't agree with it. I'm not saying I agree with it, but he did give me an idea for a video, similar concept that I want to do on my channel. So stay tuned for that. Hit that subscribe button. But this guy is very, very, very entertaining. Definitely recommend you come check out his channel, small YouTuber coming up in the crypto space. Listen, we have to support these crypto YouTubers. The world at large is against crypto. When I say the world at large, I mean the media is going to be against it. They're saying it's used for nothing but nefarious reasons. The governments are going to be against it. So many governments. I've talked about the UK government coming out against crypto derivatives. The US government attacking certain segments of crypto. So crypto YouTubers and crypto community at large, we have to stick together. We have to support one another. Until next time, I got a great video coming up you're not going to want to miss. Hit that bell notification. Hit that subscribe button. By the way, I have a link for DSP down in the description, but I don't necessarily recommend that you use it. I mean, you will get 5% more if you come in with DSP, but this is a high-risk platform. If you want to know how you can earn passive crypto without any risk, you're not going to make these kind of gains, but you can still earn passive cryptocurrency. You can earn 5 streams of passive cryptocurrency without any risk at all. Go down in the description, click on the newsletter, Crypto Passive Profits newsletter. That's a no-risk way, and I'm actually building, and I'll be able to teach you exactly how I'm building a business with cryptocurrency. Once you subscribe, watch the video you're going to see. That's going to talk to you about your bonuses, and you'll see how I'm actually using these low risk, no risk, passive income streams to be able to actually build a cryptocurrency business. All right, this has been Crypto Wealth. Remember, crypto equals freedom. This is Crypto Wealth. I'm out.